This is the oncoming storm, and I want to make a minor correction. What I said about athletic being a top trait is true until you get to approximately 250 to 300 level. That's the point where athletic starts to tail off. I can't ignore the testing. And the testing is showing us numbers that there is a trait that will take you up faster and be a greater amount of damage for you within just a few hits. And that trait is aggressive. You know, the one from our tide storms. I hate trying to find these. Here's our tide storm. It's a clan trait. Each attack made increases strength by 1% approximately for this one. I think you can get it up to 2% at level 22, but I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. It's going to go up to 20%. Around 350, level 350 for the champions, their strength starts getting high enough that the numbers don't work for athletic to be the best trade option for damage. Is it bad? As you can see, I have it. I have it on all of my heroes right now because I have not finished my Tide Storms. And I don't think it's bad. But it comes down to this one point. I know that at level 400, the numbers come out to the increase based on strength ends up being about 4% with athletic when we're at 180,000 versus 20% with aggressive. Now, I didn't say that it was the perfect trait that should always be there, but I did say that it was a top trait. And there is a point where it can be outgrown by multiplicative situations. So I feel it's important to come on and say, I made a mistake and make a correction. But you have to the important piece here is that athletic is an excellent trait before level 250. Aggressive doesn't keep up with it. None of the multiplicative traits keep up with a high-end athletic trait prior to level 250. I think you can get to 300. But right around there is where aggressive starts pushing it off. So if you're in the early game, the tier lists for traits shouldn't matter to you very much in the first place. But you should be excited about athletic because it'll give you a jump whenever you're smaller. And my intention is to replace athletic with aggressive once I have aggressive at the top tier, which means I need to go and raise my companion so that my Tide Storm is generating mythic champions. Right now she's only doing commons. But please note, for all of you out there, if you're lower level and you're listening to these videos, understand they're not saying athletic is bad all the time. That athletic is a starter trait and it peters off later on. It just gets to where the percentages for the multiplicative traits become stronger. And after discussing it with a few higher level players, it falls off entirely. And you start valuing. Now there's two things you can do. You can reach for aggressive, or you can reach for another thing like focused. Because getting more ultimates off is always good. Getting more damage is always good. The question becomes, what's it going to be? So this has been the oncoming storm. I'm letting you know I still stand by athletic is a decent trait and a top trait, but it is not an S tier trait going forward. It's S tier below level 200. It starts slipping off and becomes something that you should be looking to remove beyond 350. You have a good day. Here are the numbers that we found at higher level, where the normal attack hits for 573,000 with aggressive on the first attack and hits harder with athletic. The second attack, it's still lower, 750,000. The third attack, it's still lower, 761,000. See, we're moving up here. When we get to our auto skill, which means we've had 3 attacks push through, you're already at the point where this is starting to tail off. And aggressive is slightly ahead on the auto attack. The fourth strike. Then the normal attack number 4, the 5th strike, we start seeing numbers where it's 807,000. Sorry, it's 791,000 for athletic, because this does not go up, and it continues to go up. And we end up at the end, once we have all the buffs, we've gotten to our 20% increase, and we've got the female lionstone going. All of a sudden, the numbers go from 315,000, which, please note, that's a pretty nice hit, to 3,158,000 versus 3,654,000. Well, if we're talking about 500,000 damage difference by the first ultimate, yeah, we need to consider aggressive is the better one. Please note, this was not something that we just did with nothing. We did have one of the members literally sat down and built the chart and followed this and showed every step, which means athletic gets outgunned fairly quickly. You're talking 5 attacks, 4 attacks, 5 attacks, and all of a sudden athletic is out. I just didn't want you to feel like I had ignored this because we did the math. This is math based on a much higher level. At the lower levels, aggressive doesn't keep up because you don't have the high enough base strength yet. It's the same reason male Aeson takes a while to come into his own. So, like I said before, you want athletic until you're around 200 to 300, 250, 300. But by the time you hit level 350 for your champions, and for some of you that may be a while, but by the time you hit level 350, these are the numbers that start coming out. This has been the Oncoming Storm. You have a good day.